Heshie, 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 Kantankowitz. Heshie, he's Heshie, America's favorite old Jew.
Hello, and welcome to the Heshie Kantankowitz Show, winner of Cable Access TV's Best Program in the Geriatric Jewish category. Have I got a story for you? I died, went to heaven, argued with God, met the devil, and came back. This was at the start of the pandemic, when the coronavirus was spreading around here faster than indigestion on Taco Tuesdays. I had all the telltale symptoms: hooching and heching, bleching and bluching, and schwitzing like a chazer. Nothing they did at the hospital worked. The doctor pronounced me dead and headed off to the golf course. If you know a good malpractice lawyer, leave his name in the comments section. What came next? I'll tell you what came next. As I lay there in the hospital bed, my soul rose up out of my body. Now I know you probably think heaven is pearly gates, angels plucking on heartstrings, maybe a Zabaz on every corner. No! It was a casino. And not a nice one either. Think Reno, not Vegas. Think Atlantic City after Trump got through with it. But business was booming. You see, every hour on the hour, they ran a bus out of purgatory full of old ladies. They comped them a bucket full of tokens, and they went right to the slot machines. Only these aren't like ordinary slots. Each of the wheels has a picture of people still alive down on Earth. You pull the lever, great, right? Except the way it works is that whoever's picture comes up, it's their death sentence. Tragic. As a kid, they told me every year God decides who gets another year of life. If you were good, your name was written in the book of life. If not, you can forget it. But no. Who lives, who dies, it all depends on a bunch of yentas up in heaven. Suddenly I understood everything. Why the good die young. How come someone perfectly healthy one day drops dead the next? Why I died, but that son of a bitch poker cheat Irv Schwendeman in the East Wing will probably live forever. That guy cheated me out of a fortune. But something wasn't right. Suddenly, all the machines started hitting the jackpot. That would mean a lot of people dying down on Earth. But this was the cruelest joke of all. All this good fortune up there was the pandemic down here. This was some kind of universe God was running. Well, I got sick of that horror show pretty quick and headed to the roulette tables. But there, if your bet came in, your prize was getting to take revenge on whoever screwed you back on Earth. And angels stood at the ready to carry out whatever acts of vengeance the winners requested. Now I know what you're thinking. Most people die with a hell of a lot of grudges. You let them get even in heaven, there'd be a lot of people back on Earth going through misery and suffering. That's why there was a strict maximum on the amount of retribution you could take. It was strictly limited to petty revenge. One guy had poison ivy grow in his neighbor's garden. Another had one of her husband's socks disappear every time she did the laundry. I like the woman who gave her aunt who was Catholic, flatulence in the confessional. But I forgot to mention something. That was for the low rollers. Over at the high rollers table, it was different. These were reserved for people who'd been practically saints during their lifetime. They were allowed to exact as much retribution as they wanted if they won. Apparently, you spend your whole life resisting the temptation to do evil, you get rewarded in heaven by being able to get back at everyone who ever screwed you. It turns out John Wilkes Booth was murdered because Lincoln won on 35 black just a few hours after he was assassinated. Moses got ditched in the desert by the Jews. 2,000 years later, his bet on 12 red came in, and we got the Inquisition. Now, this you'll be interested to know. I'd been up in heaven for over 3 hours, and not a single waiter had come by offering me so much as a peanut. Luckily, I saw a sign for a soup and salad special at the cafe in the lounge area. Only it was the worst restaurant I'd ever been to. The soup was watery, the cold cuts were rotten, and they sat me next to the kitchen. I want to see the manager.
He's on vacation.
I want to see his manager.
He was fired last week.
I want to see his manager.
You mean Jesus?
Why would I want to see the Son when I can talk to the Father? They were impressed by my chutzpah. I was led straight to the elevator. God lived on the top floor. It wasn't actually that high, because the zoning laws still said you couldn't build higher than the Tower of Babel. Still, you should have seen God's digs. Velvet chaise lounges, a waterbed, and the Schwitz offering around-the-clock platzes. Behold God!
How long are you gonna stay in there? It's enough already.
And guess who else was there? You gotta forgive our animator. He doesn't know from anti-Semitic stereotypes.
Sorry.
I always thought God and the devil were sworn mortal enemies. But it turns out they've been arguing for so long they're like an old married couple.
How come you didn't buy the milk?
I thought you were buying the milk.
No, you were buying the milk. I was buying the eggs.
That's not how I remember it.
Stop hucking me already.
If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times, don't use the minibar. They rip you off on the markup.
I can't get a pack of peanuts?
You can't go to the store across the street?
It's such a schlep.
You shouldn't be eating peanuts anyway. The doctor said to go easy on the sodium.
You mean that quack, your cousin?
For the last time, osteopath is a real doctor.
Hold it! Hold it!
What do you want?
Well, first of all, the devil's right. High blood pressure is nothing to sneeze at. Second, I want to file a complaint with somebody.
We run a high-class resort.
Oh yeah? The service is lousy, the decor looks like it's right out of Howard Johnson's, and you got more bed bugs than Mar-a-Lago. Where do you get the bagels? Dunkin' Donuts? He's used to getting questions about the nature of evil and why there's suffering, but not a lot of people complain about the day-to-day operations.
Who are you to tell me what to do?
Who are you to tell me not to tell you what to do?
I am who I am.
And I'm Heshie. So now that we're done with the introductions, how about you comp me a steak dinner and I'll forget all about this?
No.
Fine, free tickets to a show.
No.
Okay, it can be a matinee.
I'm warning you.
What?
I'm going to...
What?
Oh, for crying out loud, tell him. Every time this happens, he wants to send you to hell.
But I can't.
You can't?
I've been sending the worst of the worst anti-Semites down there for so long, they won't let Jews in anymore.
Really?
Yeah. You tell me what I'm going to do with Harvey Weinstein.
Even in hell, they hate the Jews.
Can you get him out of here?
Me?
I've got such a headache.
Like last night, and the night before, and the night before that.
Don't start.
What about my needs?
Please don't start.
When did we stop being affectionate with each other?
I don't know, lately. I suppose I've got an extra hour before we do the jackpot drawing. We could snuggle.
I'd like that.
It won't kill them if they have to wait an extra hour to see who wins the Impala.
At this point, I figured they deserve some privacy.
Nobody talks to God like that and gets away with it.
Wait a minute, I'm Jewish!
For crying out loud. I told God 600 years ago, you send the Spanish Grand Inquisitor down there, no good will come of it.
You know, there's a punishment a lot worse than hell.
What's that?
Living. Who can disagree with that? So, now I'm back. We're in lockdown and can't leave our rooms. Ambulances come and go, taking the sick to the hospital. They got a refrigerated truck out back serving as a morgue. Meanwhile, the people running this place are telling the city health department they don't have any cases. The Hebrew home for the aged. Hades on earth for old Jews waiting to die. On the other hand, I'm alive. I get to take one more breath, and then another, and then another. Maybe that's all there is. Maybe it's enough. This has been Heshie Kantankowitz, coming to you from the Hebrew Home for the Aged, the country's only assisted living facility with a glatt kosher high-fiber meal plan.
Heshie, Heshie, Heshie Kantankowitz. Heshie, he's Heshie, America's favorite old Jew.
Oh yeah. Remember to subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. And share us on Facebook and Twitter. I have no idea what any of that means, but they told me to say it.
Heshie, Heshie, Heshie Kantankowitz. Heshie, he's Heshie, America's favorite old Jew.
Coming to you from the Hebrew Home for the Aged.